Hello there. We're doing another Let's Play. Or, well, I'd like to say we're doing it, but it's just me this time. Unfortunately, the others were not willing to go through this game because it's going to be a rather lengthy one. Yep, it's Kingdom Hearts Unmixed Edition, which is a bit of a remastered version, if you will. It adds a couple of more things, like new difficulties and a couple other things. We'll get into that in a moment. I'll be playing this game on Proud Mode, which is the hardest difficulty. And I'll be trying to get as much done in this game as I possibly can. It will not be a 100% run, but it'll be close enough to one. I'll get into more of that later once we get into the actual game. But for now, just sit back and enjoy. We have a very long journey ahead of us. God, those eyelashes are so damn big.
I've been having these weird thoughts lately. Like, is any of this for real? Or not?
Existential questions besides, here's something I had to edit out. The song that was placed in the intro, I think Square Enix doesn't like it if you actually upload it to YouTube, but whenever it's separate from the actual intro or it's played along with the intro. I'm not 100% sure, but it kind of seems like it from what I've seen on other videos on YouTube, so I figured may as well just remove the video and play the main menu theme instead, so that the video doesn't taken down or muted or whatever. So if you wanted to hear a song, sorry, I didn't want to get, I just didn't want to deal with the crap of getting videos flagged and have to deal with it later. So I just decided to go with the safe route and put the main music. Anywho, this introduction doesn't really mean anything at all. It's just, well, weirdness and try to show off how gorgeous this game could look like. But won't really do so until like many years later after the original game's release. I see myself falling from the sky, which made me fall into the water again. I have no idea what the heck this intro is supposed to mean besides. And then he falls into the sky as well. And then she starts standing in the sky, and then, yeah, this intro doesn't make any sense at all. And unfortunately, it's going to be a good representation of the overall plot from getting to the later games in the series. Will I do the other games in the series? Yes, but I can't do all of them, because the DS games, I don't have a proper way to record them. So I won't be able to do those. I'll do something else that is at least gives you the entire plot of those games, but I can't do a playthrough of those games, at least at the moment. Maybe in the future. Who knows? All the other games? Definitely. But for now, we're going to go with this game. Yep, that's basically a lot of people's life. I had so much to do, and yet too little time to do so in a lifetime. Fortunately, this game is calm about just having you take your time, I guess. Step forward, can you do it? Child, do you know how to walk? Oh good, you can actually walk. Yeah, left stick to move, tilt it slightly to walk, tilt it more to run. Basic stuff. Okay, so these objects to see beforehand is a bit interesting. You'll have to pick one of these objects to be given as a boon. Each of these objects will determine a couple of things. They determine your starting stats and the stats you'll obtain as you level up. They will also give you certain skills as you level up as well. and each one will give you different skills. So basically you determine how your main character is going to become by the end of the game. The sword is not the most useful one because the other objects give you also special boons. The staff gives you additional magic, which ends you up with more magic, maximum magic at the end of the game. And the shield increases the amount of items you can carry to combat, because you can only use so many items in a single instance of a combat. I'll be choosing the shield because the skills that it gives us is more into my style of gameplay. Now after that you can choose an object to sacrifice, and I'm going to go with the sword. Unlike the staff and the shield, the sword doesn't give out any special bonus. At least any bonus that can be easily obtained through gameplay. All it does is give you additional attack, and there will be methods to gain additional attack besides leveling. So it's usually the easiest one to sacrifice. Of course, also pick up your style of gameplay. And because we picked the shield, we're going to be using the shield as a weapon temporarily. Good job, you swung your shield once. You're perfectly capable of fighting off any enemies you meet now. And yeah, the green bar is your health. The blue bar is your magic. We can't use any magic right now. If the green bar goes empty, we die and it's game over. Well, not all the time. In some instances, it doesn't become game over if you lose all your health. Anywho, these are our first enemies. I'll get into more about their names and their quirks as we actually get into the main game. For the moment, just keep in mind those are your basic goons of the game, and we'll be seeing them quite a lot. Defeating them, of course, gets you experience, and sometimes they'll drop items. Those green orbs that just disappeared are health prices. Prices comes in various forms, and they give you health, magic, and sometimes money as well. You can also drop items, but we'll get to that once we get to that. The game automatically locks to the nearest enemy that you're currently facing, and will switch over to them to make sure that you're finding the closest enemy you can fight. You can lock onto enemies to more manage what enemies you're currently fighting, like we do right here. You can also switch which enemy you are currently locking onto if there are multiple enemies to lock on. Sometimes you can also lock onto things that aren't enemies as well. Well, that was a short game. Nah, it's fine. And yeah, certain objects can be examined. And you have to press the triangle button to do all of these things. The triangle button will be dedicated to doing a lot of things that aren't basic combat stuff, like talking to people, examining objects, interacting with certain objects. And that's the chest. The chest contains items, and you can, of course, use the triangle button to open them. And that's not how you open... that's not how you open them. Crates and other objects can also be pushed around if you keep walking into them. It's a bit finicky, but eventually the main character will push things. And you can also smash them. You can't smash all items, only items that has these kind of weird star things, at least for the crates and barrels. Sometimes boxes will drop items, sometimes they will not. You can lock on to, yes, you can lock on to things that aren't enemies as well. has a few uses, and you can also, yeah, as you can see, you can switch around them. Crates can be lifted and then tossed around. And doing all this full thing allows us to continue on with the tutorial land. Yep, that's bright. Al's blind. That's a bit contradictory considering what just happened. But yeah, this section is a bit weird. Oh yeah, and also tells us, hey, you can use the first person mode to look around. Doesn't have much use, but it can be good if you're trying to find certain objects, like chests and such. Still, I think the normal camera should suffice in that department. Anywho, so these are actual Final Fantasy characters. And I accidentally skipped over something, but that's not really. Anyway, these characters will ask you various questions. And depending on the answer, it will determine how your leveling rate will go. The first option will level you to the dawn. I think the dawn. Yeah, dawn. Choosing the first option will cause you to get dawn, which makes leveling faster early in the game, but in later game will make it much slower. The middle option gets us even leveling throughout the entire game, which is called midday, and the last option gets us the dusk option, which is the complete opposite to dawn, which is slow leveling in the beginning, but then fast leveling later on. I'm just going to show off what choosing the other options are like, though it's not too particularly interesting. I'll try to get through with this as fastly as possible with the power of editing. And yeah, I'm doing this post-commentary because it's easy for me to do so, and well, if I had to do this live, we'll be here forever. It's gonna be a long journey, and I think if I can make it even slightly shorter for everybody, it'll be worth it. So is it useful to make your leveling rate faster or shorter in one way or another? I have no real idea. I think it's mostly just preference. Myself, I just prefer to have it to be just simple, even leveling, so we don't have to worry about, you know, one point or another being more difficult because this game's weird like that. This feature doesn't come up in any other games. It's just in this game, which is a bit weird. So I'm just gonna go with the midday because, well, why would I want to have slower levelings if I can? I don't think having faster levels is worth having to do with slower leveling in another point. Anywho, now we can continue on. And we're almost done with this area. Just a few more things to get through. The options menu can be accessed while you're not in combat. It allows you to check your inventory, your equipment, and other things. But you can't do that in combat, which is exactly why the game starts you off at combat. So time to bash these guys with our shields, because that's the most professional thing in the world. Anywho, so yeah, as you can see there, if you don't hit your enemies, you can't build up a combo. You have to keep hitting enemies to build up your combo. At the moment, our maximum combo is free, but that can be added on later on. Also, our combo for attacking in the air is also the same as combo we can do in the ground at the moment, which is free. Yeah, this isn't too tough if you make sure to defeat the enemy and pick up the health drops. The fact that enemies drop HP orbs will be very important for surviving most of the combat. Anywho, this is a save spot. It will fulfill both HP and MP to its max for all party members and allow you to save your game. You'll also do some other things as well, but we'll get into that a bit later. Our path is lined up so we can proceed, but I'm gonna go ahead and save. And yeah, that's quite a lot of save files. I'm gonna be saving this. I'm gonna probably have to fiddle around with the save files so it looks a bit different, but also while we are on the save spot, we can also check our party, which are none, and our menu. Here we see we have a potion equipped, restores 30 HP. We currently have a Dream Shield equipped, and nothing else that we are able to equip. We have the skill EXP 0, which is a bit of an odd one. You can actually play this entire game without getting a single level and beat it. And how that works is that all enemies cannot kill you in one shot. You'll be able to survive a single hit if you're at level 1. Getting other levels, and you have to keep getting levels to ensure you don't get killed in one hit. Now this is the kind of game we can actually beat the game without potentially getting hit. That's not something I'm gonna do because I am in no way, shape or form able to complete this game at level 1. I'm not really good at the dodging and not getting hit stuff. I'm gonna get hit in the enemies and I'm gonna be dying a lot throughout this game. But I am able to get through the game on proud mode. I've done it before, so we should be getting through it eventually. I think being afraid of this thing is pretty fair, you know. Right, so this is actually a boss. An optional one, though. If you fail to beat this boss, it won't be game over. You'll be able to keep going with the game regardless. Now for this boss, you have to keep attacking its hands in order to deal damage. You can also climb up through its arms and actually hit its head, which allows you to deal more damage. You'll also be able to get more XP through technique points. Technique points are basically when you do a certain thing that causes you to get the advantage of the enemies. A variety of enemies have different ways to gain technique points, and successfully doing a technique thing will give you its experience. Like for example there. Hitting the orb allows us to get a technique point, and deflecting back to its head will get us 2. There's a nice way to get additional XP. And that was enough to get us a level actually. Yeah, this guy doesn't have too many moves. If you do run out of health, you can actually take out the smaller grunts in order to recover HP, as they drop HP orbs. So that is a nice thing to keep in mind if you're struggling. Again, it's not completely necessary to beat this guy in order to proceed. And as you see there, you can actually climb up and deal damage to that. To his head, and that'll give you extra experience. It's good to do so whenever you can. It doesn't really have much in the way of... Yeah, that did it. Leveling up doesn't really get us too many stats. You usually only get like 1 or 2 buffs at a time every time you level. Like for instance, we got extra defense and we got an extra point. Well, we got an increased capacity for carrying items to combat. More on that later. For the moment, we're almost done with this section now. Let's have to be consumed by darkness again. Jump scare in 1.
Whoa! Give me a break, Kyrie.
Sorry, you lazy bum. I knew that I'd find you snoozing down here.
No, this huge black thing swallowed me up. I couldn't breathe, I couldn't... Ow!
Are you still dreaming?
It wasn't a dream. Or was it? I don't know. What was that place? So bizarre.
Yeah, sure.
Say, Kyrie, what was your hometown like? You know, where you grew up?
I've told you before. I don't remember.
Nothing at all?
Nothing.
You ever want to go back?
Well, I'm happy here.
Really?
But you know, I wouldn't mind going to see it.
I'd like to see it too. Along with any other worlds out there. I want to see them all.
So what are we waiting for?
Hey! Aren't you guys forgetting about me? So, I guess I'm the only one working on the raft.
Ah!
And you're just as lazy as he is.
So you noticed. Okay, we'll finish it together. I'll race you.
Huh?
What? Are you kidding?
Ready? Go!
And 20 minutes into the game, we actually get our title. Don't worry, in later games this is going to be a lot longer between these. I think second one is most infamous for having like the biggest distance from start of the game to actually getting the title of the game like that, indicating like the very beginning of the game. Right, anyway, so for the next section we basically have to gather resources to build the raft. Talking to this girl right here will let us know what kind of items we need to collect. Two logs, one cloth, one rope, and that's it. You'll find them all across this island. Now there are more things to do in an island besides gathering resources. Here's a log. Probably not the log we were almost crushed to death with by the silver hair guy, but yeah, you can see there, these are the Final Fantasy characters we saw earlier. We'll talk to them later. For now, I just want to get the whole raft material gathering thing over and done with before we talk to them. The cloth is inside this little tree house, whatever this thing is. And we are almost done now. We only have 2 more objects we need to collect. I think I got a bit lost here, but yeah, anyway. That shack in there is where the safe spot is. I'll show that off in a later point because I completely forgot about it. But yeah, the log is over by this little weird little island here. And there's the silver-haired guy. We get to talk to him later. And our main character can of course swim, which makes sense since he lives in an island. Would be hard if you didn't know how to swim living in an island. And the final object, the rope, should be across this area now. This area where the kind of boat thing was. Yeah, there it is. And that's all the objects, so we just turn them in and we can finish the day if we so choose to. And for effort, we get a high potion. It heals a lot more health than our regular potions, but at the moment, considering we have so little health, it's completely pointless. Potions will heal up all our health since...
Great.
Yeah, health potions heal up all our health, so there's no point in using high potions yet. So we can just have small talk with these characters, but there's another thing we can also do to these characters. We can fight them. I believe this one is called Seti.
Don't hold back.
I'm not too familiar with Final Fantasy, so I don't know. I don't know, like, you know, the ones that almost everybody knows. Anyway, so Sephi is not too hard actually. She's basically a good introduction for how most boss fights going to be. You have to recognize what kind of attacks to do and what tails you can have so you can easily get the advantage of them.
You ready?
What she's doing there was she's trying to do a special charge attack, which she's trying to do swinging around her jump rope. And it can be kind of nasty if she actually initiates it, but I think you can do this game is you can actually parry certain attacks. I'll show you. Yeah, no hit round failed. Yeah, there if you attack an enemy just as they start attacking, you'll be able to parry their attacks. They can do the same to you, however, so be mindful of that.
Hey, Sora, you feel lucky today?
This guy's name is Titus, I believe. I have no idea which game these guys are from because, again, I don't know anything about Final Fantasy.
You're going down.
Titus is a bit more tougher than Sephi, but he's also the more easiest one to parry, and allows you to get to grind up tech points. You can actually grind up experience with these characters if you so choose to. Not really much point though, since these fights are completely optional. Killing them doesn't really net you anything, and winning them doesn't really net you anything yet. You can get something from fighting all these guys, but in proud mode it's pretty tough, and I'm not that good at the game. Mainly because we don't got the various abilities that makes fighting a lot more easier. For example, dodging and blocking. Those are not going to be able for us for a good while. Anyway, he's down.
I'm really off today.
Be a man, despite the fact you already got your ass handed to you.
Hey, what's happening, man?
Oh, this guy, I believe his name is Wakka. And he's kind of a son of a
Show me
bitch.
your stuff.
He attacks by tossing a ball at you, and you can actually deflect the ball back to him. It's a bit... This is where the deflecting things kind of become a bit of a hassle. Because, as you may have noticed, there's a slight delay between your attacks from the point where you press the button and where you swing. That attack is pretty nasty and can deal a good chunk of damage to you. So be careful with that. At this point I'm mainly focused on trying to deflect his attacks in order to get tech points to try to stun him. Certain of his ball attacks will actually stun him if you deflect him back to him. Problem is, even if you actually manage to deflect it, it won't necessarily hit him. And if you don't do so, you will get hit, and some of the attacks can deal a nasty amount of damage.
I win!
So I tried to do this strategy of reflecting the ball back to him for a couple of times, and I lost 3 more times. And at this point I figured, you know what, no, I'm just gonna do how I used to do things and just don't bother trying to deflect hits and just dodge them instead. It's much easier to just deflect his ball attacks, and even the one where he charges up his whole ball attack is easy to dodge. You just have to make sure you jump just when he tosses it. Like there. Now you have to be careful about approaching him, as if you get too close to him, he'll spin around and try to hit you that way. Unless he's actually tossing a ball, he won't be able to stun lock him and deal a good combo of damage to him. So he can be a bit tricky to actually get, since he usually will fight back if you try to get too close to him. But he's vulnerable when he's tossing a ball, so make use of that. As you can see, this method is a lot better, and we don't get ourselves horrendously beat up. I believe. Also, Wakka has the most health of all of them. Titus has the second most, and Sephi has the lowest amount of health. And here we finally beat Wakka. Good. Anywho, that's first part done. See you in the next part.